John Hilgendorf, are we ready to go? Am I reading your note correctly? All right. Well, good afternoon. I'm Robert White, council member at large and chair of the Committee on Housing. Today is January 24th, 2023, and we are meeting virtually. The time is now 10:08 a.m., and I'm calling to order this organizational meeting of the committee. We have a quorum consisting of myself and Ward 3 council member Matt Fruman and Ward 5 council member Zachary Parker. Today, we will be considering two measures: the rules of organization and procedure for the Committee on Housing for Council Period 25, Resolution of 2023, and the Committee on Housing Staff Appointment Resolution of 2023. Before we turn to those measures, however, I want to take a moment to recognize council members Anita Bonds and Brianne Nadeau for their work and leadership last council period on the issues now under the purview of this committee. I also wanted to again recognize and thank council members Brianne Nadeau, Trayon White, Christina Henderson, and Brooke Pinto for their work with me last council period on the Council on Government Operations and Facilities. I could not be more excited about the work we're going to do together this council period in this committee, this newly reorganized Committee on Housing. We have a lot to cover with a committee that spans our entire housing and homelessness services continuum, while also covering many public benefits, returning citizens issues, advisory neighborhood commissions, and real estate regulation. I come to this committee as a fifth-generation Washingtonian who has seen most of my family price out of this city and have had members of my family experience homelessness in this city. Chairing this committee is both humbling and meaningful. Our work is cut out for us. The DC Housing Authority continues to need reform and oversight to meet the needs of public housing residents and voucher holders. Our public housing is in terrible shape, while vouchers are moving out the door too slowly despite historic investments. Far too many of our residents still fall through the cracks of our system, living and dying on the streets of a city too wealthy to leave so many behind. Despite some progress, we still are not getting the return on investment we expect from the immense resources we have available in the Housing Production Trust Fund, the Housing Finance Agency, and other housing programs. And despite dramatic increases in staffing and programs over the last several years, too many people return from incarceration only to go directly into a shelter. Despite these challenges, I remain hopeful. I'm hopeful because I know we will approach this work with the same values that we always have: a focus on driving equity and social justice for people left behind by focusing on improving transparency, demanding accountability, and fighting negligence and corruption wherever it exists. I'm hopeful because we as a city have already demonstrated our resolve to work together to make significant investments in making this city affordable for everyday people in the last several budgets. I'm hopeful because we have a plan to take this committee into the community to hear directly from residents in encampments, in shelter, in public housing, those holding vouchers, and those building and managing properties. Over the next several months, the committee will do a deep dive on housing and homelessness to understand with fresh eyes what's working and what's not working, to understand the systems and the people. In doing this, we're going to get closer to the problems, understand the challenges better, and understand the nuances better so that we are getting to the heart of problems and making life better for people. We will use lived experience to help solve problems, not instead of reports, experts, and formal hearings, but in addition to them. We will pull in agency clients, stakeholders, housing providers, and policy experts. We will take an in-depth approach to both housing issues on the ground today and to new innovative housing ideas for the future. We will do the same for homelessness. Brian Stevenson, the social justice activist and founder of the Equal Justice Initiative, said, "If you are willing to get closer to people who are suffering, you will find the power to change the world." I believe that as well. And this committee will be proximate to people. In addition, we will continue to be at ANC meetings. We will also intend to show up to board meetings, resident council meetings, and neighborhood walkthroughs. We will be doubling down on hearing from people who experience our system so that we are informed by the reality on the ground when we talk to those who design and run our system and read about both problems and best practices from here and around the world. And I am hopeful because I am joined in this work by my colleagues, council members Kenya McDuffie, Brooke Pinto, Matt Fruman, and Zachary Parker. I know from working with each of you in the past that we share the same values. I intend to do everything I can to keep you informed and engaged in the work of this committee. I also am excited because we have a talented team in this committee, led by Committee Director Sean Hilgendorf, who has done incredible work in the years he's been on the council. Our Deputy Committee Director, Sean Cuddihigh, who has been fresh eyes and ears since he's joined the committee a couple of years ago and has a thorough knowledge of government operations. Nia Evering, our legislative counsel, who worked with me on our previous committee and is a native Washingtonian and brings an important perspective to the work that we do here in this committee. And Caitlin Konchalova, who's worked both in my personal office and now in the committee and brings a breadth of experience working in various capacities around this city. With that, we will turn to the two measures before us. I also want to welcome our colleague, Councilmember Kenya McDuffie, at-large council member. The first measure on the agenda is the rules of organization and procedure for the Committee on Housing for Council Period 25, resolution of 2023. You will find these rules are largely similar to those of my committee from last council period, with a few corrections and modifications to conform with the newly amended council rules. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I move the committee print of the rules of organization and procedure for the Committee on Housing for Council Period 25, resolution of 2023, with leave for staff to make technical and conforming changes. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
We have a unanimous vote in the opinion of the chair. The measure passes. Thank you. Our second measure on the agenda today is the Committee on Housing Staff Appointment Resolution of 2023. This resolution approves the appointment of Sean Hilgendorf as Committee Director of the committee, Sean Cuddihigh as Deputy Committee Director, and two legislative counsels, Nia Evering and Caitlin Konchalova. But yes. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, at this time, I move the committee print of the Committee on Housing Staff Appointment Resolution of 2023, with leave for staff to make technical and conforming changes. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it unanimously and the measure passes. I want to again thank the members of the committee. I am very much looking forward to working with you all. As I said, we will have our hands full, so we will work together. If anyone listening is interested in learning more about the committee's work, please sign up for our newsletter at robertwhiteatlarge.com. The business before this committee has concluded. The time is 10:16 a.m. and this organizational meeting of the Committee on Housing is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Good to see you.